All right, let me give you your tropical update today. A couple of tidbits for you. Last week, remember, we tracked that little invest off the coast of Florida. Thankfully, as expected, didn't really do much. And then we had Alberto in the Gulf that was a really large wind field that actually cooled the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, the entire Gulf dropped up to 3 degrees Fahrenheit, the ocean temperature, since last week, and is now closer to average, although that's going to be a brief thing. It's not going to last through the rest of hurricane season. The water temperatures will rebound, but interesting to note there. The first episode of SAL, if you ever hear that or see it online, that's Saharan air layer, Saharan dust layer, is going to come towards Florida later this week. Now, in terms of tropical development, not expecting that for the next 7 days, but next week, maybe there's some potential out in the open Atlantic. All right, here is the tropical outlook. There's a little wave right here that's going to pass across the ABC Islands this week. And then once it gets closer to the Yucatán Peninsula late this week and this weekend, maybe it'll have a brief chance to become a tropical depression going into Mexico, but that would be the extent of it for this week. So 20% are there in yellow for late this week heading into the upcoming weekend. Beryl remains the next name up, followed by Chris and then Debbie. I don't think we'll have Beryl this week, although next week in the Atlantic, far out there, we'll keep an eye on things for you. As we head into July, the development zones, historically, a couple of spots start to come up in the Caribbean, and we always generally see a handful of storms try to curve away from the Carolinas and off the coast of New England during July. Temperatures out there now, upper 80s to near 90. It is hot outside, and it is humid. Not horribly so. I mean, the heat index, 99, 100 or so, and the heat index will be up to 105 each day this week. A lot of heat out west, a lot of humidity as well in the plains. There'll be severe weather tonight, tornadoes and a severe wind event in Minnesota with a cold front up there. So for this evening, here's 9 o'clock. Showers and storms are mainly along the I-75 corridor and will move to the south. Then after about midnight, we're just quiet overnight. Going into tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. Here's 8 o'clock, so it's dry out to work and school. But a little piece of energy will zip by Florida tomorrow, and that'll help enhance the showers and storms. By 3, they start to fire in eastern Marion County, and they'll fill in down closer to Orlando by about the evening. I do think there'll be a ton of lightning, lots of downpours, maybe some gusty winds. Could there be a severe storm warning or two? Yes, for hail and wind, but tornado risk doesn't seem to be there. Then that'll fade away by about 8, 9 o'clock. So notice tomorrow there's actually a healthy amount of downpours and storms out there, and I think we'll do that exact same thing again for Wednesday. So the next 2 days, really good chances for rain. 92 on Thursday, 93 on Friday. Rain chances will come down a little bit for the weekend, then it'll be staying quite hot heading into next week.